Hello, Nicolina, Natalie. Okay, Danilo, Reni. Okay, great. Yes, Darko, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello everyone once again, and welcome to our new webinar, which we will hold today with a guest speaker. So, of course, we are going to talk about the Web3 space as the next level of customer experience. And today we will hear what retailers are actually already doing and what use we see in the future. Your today's speakers are Daryl Kelly, he is from Limited Inc., CEO, Darko Pavic, he is co-founder of Fiscal Solutions, and then there is me, Milica, marketing manager at Fiscal Solutions, and your today's host. Great, I like the chat already. So if you maybe have any problems today of some technical nature, please reach out to me because I'm your host today and I'm here to make sure that everything goes well. Before we start, I will give you a few words about Fiscal Solutions and then we will start with today's topic because I really don't want to take time from talking about this special topic, Web3 space. So I must say that Fiscal Solutions is actually an IT company as we produce our software that helps retailers and POS software providers to work without any problems in many countries, actually internationally. Besides our software, we have 3 more products. Fiscal Portal, which is like our online library where you can find all needed documentation for your fiscal project. After that, we are providing workshops. Actually, workshops are our consultancy services. And at the end, we have Fiscal Hotline, which represents our support team. So also I must add, hello everyone. Of course, I also must add that we are a trusted business partner. As you can see here on the slide, on the right side, you can see some of our clients and partners as we work with more than 70 companies in 20 countries. This is also just one part of it. And of course, we are really proud of the fact that we are members of 2 huge organizations, Object Management Group and International Chamber of Commerce, which defines our expertise at the biggest level for sure. So if you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out to me. I will be here in the chat box and ready to answer all your questions. Of course, there will be also someone from Limited Inc. Company also. So Reni, he will also be available to answer all your questions. So we are ready. And I think that Darko should take the stage at the moment. And of course, I just must add that if we come to some end and we didn't finish, maybe we can go back to our Discord server and talk about it there. So please sit down and enjoy today's event. Darko, hello. The stage is all yours. Please turn on your camera and mic and let's begin.
Hello everyone, I hope the technique is working fine and you can see me and hear me as well. It's my big pleasure to be today here and to be partially host and partially to talk about this interesting topic as well. I want to make just a short introduction in this subject by explaining 2 points. Very simple. 1 point is actually why is the company like we are, and we are actually IT company, which is doing the fiscal software. Why is this kind of company doing something related to the Web3 space? Somehow it's a little bit strange. And then we will move to another part and I will explain you a little bit more about the history of the retail and what is the next stage that we see as a part of the evolution. So let's come back to the point 1, why we are doing this, what we are doing. Very simple. So actually we are serving the biggest retail of the world. Those guys are our customers. We are very happy about that and very proud of that. And those companies are very creative. So they are usually looking always to improve their business and to create, of course, the new streams of income. And by that, they are always looking for the new solutions, new technologies, and so on, which could make this happen for them. But now imagine the situation. If those big companies wants to implement something, if they identify something which could be their next big part of the strategy, it's already too late for us as a company, because this would mean that we have to present and to give them our solution on spot. We would not be able to do that. So this means we have to be always step ahead. We have to predict the future before they do. We have to analyze the technologies which are existing on the market and to think, let's say, what could be the next step for them in order to be able to develop our solutions and to be ready if they decide to go that direction. There is a risk, of course, that we are wrong as well, but sometimes, and this is happening sometimes, but in most cases, we already develop some kind of analysis tools, let's say, which are helping us to understand which of the present technologies could be something what is really relevant for the future. And by that, I want to explain you the second question, why this topic that we have today, and why do we think actually that Web3 is something which is helping the retailers at the end to go in the next step and to evaluate in the next area of customer experience and of course to create the new streams of income. Let me explain a little bit how do we see the history of retail, and then everything will be absolutely clear, I'm totally sure. So actually the retail started with a simple sales process. I give you my item and you give me your money and I put it in the cash drawer. That's it. So the identification of the item was based on the visual perception of the product. You just see it, you know the price, and you sell it. We still have this kind of retail models, business models out there in the world. They are called, for example, green markets, and they are done like that. And this is perfect. This is working. Okay. But then in one moment, something big happened on the market, something big happened in the industry. And what happened and what caused the second step? This was the invention of the barcode. Suddenly, it was possible, technically possible, to put the label on the item and to identify it. And to automate all the processes which are related to that identification of the item. Suddenly, it was possible to create, let's say, the processes which are giving the special customer experience to the end user if he is buying the product. For example, if the POS, point of sale system, is identifying the product by scanning, suddenly the customer could get some kind of discounts, some kind of advertisement on the receipt or advertisement on the screen, and so on. So everything what is actually happening in that stage, means in the second stage, was caused by the new way of identification of the products. Then we moved to the third stage. The third stage was actually something where the digitalization was becoming more popular and more interesting. We got to implement, or we had to implement, the systems which are related to the mobile commerce, which are related to the e-commerce, which are somehow related to the social commerce, and so on. So digitalization started. And this kind of digitalization was also, again, only possible because we were able to identify the items which we wanted to sell. And even in the e-commerce world, it's still EAN code, means the barcode, the base of the identification of the products. Okay, and this was already great. The customer experiences that were created at that stage were perfect, absolutely great, and we are still enjoying this kind of experiences, I'm sure each of you as well. But then the fourth stage came, and the fourth stage is actually self-service. And this is something which I'm sure, again, that you know that quite good. We call that self-checkouts. Those are basically the systems where the customers are creating or running the sales processes by themselves. They identify the product, for example, with scanning or by scanning. They run the sales process and they run the payment process, everything by themselves. And now, I think you could assume that these kind of processes are more optimized than, for example, traditional POS system, but actually it's not like that. Actually, the old-fashioned, professional, traditional POS systems are much faster than self-checkouts. But if you ask the customer about his own perception, which kind of the system is for him faster, he will tell you self-checkout. Although if you measure the time, he needed more time to finish the transaction. And this is now something which is already pointing into the direction how important is actually customer experience. The best system is not really helpful if your customer don't have nice feeling during the sales process. So this is the point. This is the reason why the self-service systems are so popular and getting even more and more popular. Customer can touch and feel by himself something. And now the last stage, and this is the moment where we are living now in, it's actually something that we call a just walkout. These are the cashierless stores. Actually, this stage was started by Amazon Go, and the customer feeling around it is unbelievable. And again, this kind of revolution, let's call it like that, in the retail started only because the technology enabled the new way of identification of the items. Suddenly, we are not using just the EAN codes, means the barcodes, to identify the product, but also the sensors, the cameras, and everything together. So this is enabling the process like this. I'm going into the store, system is recognizing me, I'm picking the products, putting them from the shelf, putting them into the basket, and simply going out of the store. Great, great customer feeling, great experience. This is the stage where we are. Just to repeat, all those stages are existing in parallel, of course. Some retailers are concentrated on one, the others are implementing maybe different customer experience models. This is fine. But now let's ask the question, what is next? What can be next? Which technologies are actually existing now, at least in the early stage of creation, so that they can become popular very soon and that they can create the new customer experience? I'm sure that there are not that many technologies, ideas, or philosophies which could do that. But one is definitely there, and this is Web3. And why do I think that Web3 is something which is creating the similar revolution like all those revolutions in those stages? Because we have the new identification of the items as a part of Web3. The items are now suddenly not just the physical products, but they are also part of that, of course, but also digital products. We are able suddenly to identify and to label first and then to identify even the abstract products, like, for example, knowledge. We can put the stamp on that, and by that stamp, we can prove who is the owner of that, and we can move this ownership through the time and space. This is something totally new. Actually, what is Web3 creating? This is nothing else than intelligent barcode. It's a barcode which is smart, which is keeping some kind of intelligence, immutable somewhere on the blockchain, of course. Nobody can change it, and it's pointing to the item, actually, which we usually call asset. And this can be either physical asset, digital asset, or even abstract asset. This is something which is really, really, from my point of view, starting the new revolution, because with the new identification of the products, the new business concepts and the new sales models can be created. And I told you in the beginning, the retailers are very smart. The retailers are the most creative companies that I know, of course, and they already know that. They recognize this revolution, and I will show you the picture which is proving that. These are the guys, these are the companies which are already using the new smart barcodes to implement new business models. And I'm sure you are surprised as much as I'm surprised. If you analyze these customers, if you analyze these retailers, you will find the food retailers, hospitality retailers, pharmacy, fashion, and all of them. So this means it's not just related to one segment, it's across the complete industries and across the all channels which we know in the retail. And now I'm totally sure that if we are talking about the new business models, we will not be able immediately and to forget all other channels, like, for example, self-checkouts, mobile shopping, and so on, and just to live in the Web3 space. We have to find a way how to combine the existing worlds and the new worlds. And there is no better way than to create a technical bridge between a digital world, like the new barcodes, new smart barcodes, NFTs, and the physical world. And this is the reason why we are absolutely sure that this is the next big point. And I'm sure that there are nobody better in the world and on the planet who can talk about this issue and who can teach us more about that issue than this, of course, our guest, Daryl, who is a CEO of the company, which implemented already several these kind of bridges between digital, means barcodes that I just explained, means NFTs, and physical items. I was impressed as I saw what these guys done, and I'm still impressed about that. And that's why I'm really excited about the presentation that we will get today from Daryl. Daryl, would you like to join me on the stage?
Hello.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hi.
The stage is yours.
Perfect. Brilliant. Thank you. Well, thanks firstly for allowing me to be here and speak. I'll start with a brief background and then jump into the presentation. So my name is Daryl Kelly. I'm the CEO of Limited Inc. I come from a more traditional background of real estate, insurance, finance, gaming. And in 2016, Bitcoin sort of came across my desk, and at first I ignored it, like most people, I think. And then by late 2016, I said, okay, I've really got to understand this technology. It's been coming at me a few times from different angles, and I really want to understand it. So I locked myself away for, I think it was a long weekend, and I said, I'm not coming out until I really do understand what Bitcoin is and what it's here to do. And yeah, I literally kept reading, and then finally it clicked, and I was like, wow, this is an incredible technology. And at the crux of this whole space, what we now call Web3, is Bitcoin. And it started with Bitcoin essentially creating what's called digital scarcity. And for the first time, that was an actual thing. Before that, we didn't have what we could actually call digital scarcity. You couldn't have an asset that was digital. Fast forward, I spent the next 4 years reading, learning, trying to understand the space because it was growing so fast, and essentially trying to figure out where I fit into it as well. On the third Bitcoin halving on the 11th of May 2020, I launched my first blockchain company called the Bitcoin Movement, and that was a apparel and art website that we worked with artists and brands to create collections around the Bitcoin brand, and we put them on apparel and streetwear and art. And then essentially, under that company, we were one of the first companies in the world to connect a streetwear collection to the blockchain via NFC technology. And this was still 2020, so this was before NFTs. The term was really even a thing yet. We were calling it transaction IDs as a unique identifier. And we used that collection as a proof of concept. We did it with a UK rapper. We did 300 garments, hats, hoodies, and T-shirts. And essentially, as a proof of concept, make sure that the technology was robust, it was in demand, because it was still very cutting edge at that point and bleeding edge technology. So, sometimes these things are a bit ahead of their time, but it went really well. And so the idea was then to take that technology and open it up to the wider market. So no longer focusing on the Bitcoin niche market, but now open it up to, top tier creators, brands, and artists who wanted to leverage blockchain technology and NFTs to attach physical, tangible goods to the blockchain. And for all those reasons that Darko just mentioned, including authenticity and, really allowing those products to live in a digital world and a physical world at the same time. So we've been working on that for the last almost 2 years, and in February we went live. And what I'll do now is I will just bring up the presentation and we'll run you through the whole thing. So I'm going to turn my camera off because it takes up a bit of the bandwidth as I do it. So I'm going to share my screen. So maybe just let me know, Darko, if you can see this before I go full steam. Everyone can see that?
Yes, we can see it.
Hello, is that good? Just checking that's share my screen. Yep. Okay, so here we are. So we're Limited Inc., Ltd.inc. We are the leading marketplace for phygital products. So who are we? I'll just go into a little bit more detail. While 99% of the market has been focused on digital-only NFT marketplaces, my business and partners have been focusing on building technology that allows us to connect physical goods to the product to the blockchain via NFC technology. And as mentioned, we're trying to create an ecosystem that essentially allows collectors to know that when they come to Limited Ink, they're getting a certain caliber of product, certain caliber of artist and creator. And in reverse, when we work with creators, they know they're tapping into a ready sort of made collector base who are looking for premium products and NFTs. So we specialize in connecting physical products to the blockchain by NFTs, which are currently referred to as digitals. Now, it's not a term we particularly enjoy, but it is a term, and it's we're all trying to come up with a better word for that. And so with this new technology, we deliver a new model of creation, ownership, and reward that allows our collectors to invest in culture. And NFTs have kind of become a really powerful way for brands to connect in a more deep way with their fan base, and with collectors to connect with their brands, artists, and icons. So what do we do? So three major points. At the base level, we create, launch, and sell physical and digital NFTs. So we like to work with our clients from the ground up, and we hold their hand through the entire process. So that starts with conceptualization. What's the best route to market for your current IP or products that we can create with you? We create the digital assets, that's the NFTs, the promotional materials, and then any physical assets as well. That could be streetwear collections, that could be fabrication of artworks. So we can kind of handle any kind of project. We also handle the PR and marketing. So one of our PR firm is Waxman. They are one of the leaders in the space. And so we found that one of the biggest problems is brands entering the space and trying to tap into the Web3 community. And that's quite a big problem. So managing that process and helping a client launch a collection in a thoughtful way that appeals to the Web3 community is a really big part of launching an NFT collection. And then Limited Ink itself, the platform, acts as a launch pad. So once that collection is conceptualized, we then use the Limited Ink platform to launch it. And that NFT collection is now available for sale to the Web3 community and wider collector base. So number two, Limited Ink collectors can verify the authenticity of physical products and access exclusive content. So for the first time ever, we have built technology that allows a collector or a customer to verify the authenticity of a physical product at the touch of a button on their phone. So we have a Limited Ink app, and once they receive the physical good, essentially they take out the app, they scan it, and it confirms that they've just scanned a verified and authentic product from said brand, said creator, said artist. And then within that chip and that experience, we also provide access to exclusive content. So a creator, let's take a musician or a DJ, he can infuse music onto that chip, making it accessible to people who buy one set of hoodie collection, for example. So really providing a much more elevated and kind of deeper connection to the product and to the art. And then number three, the aim here is to create a trusted marketplace facilitating secondary sales of authentic physical goods. And again, something that necessarily hasn't been perfected yet. And for sure, we haven't perfected it either, but we're definitely adding a layer on top that allows a more confidence between creator, between brand, and their customers and their collectors. And so with that, we provide what we call a reseller consultancy service. One important point to note here is that because we sell a product in the digital world as well as the physical world, we can actually leverage what is the ERC 721 token benefits, which are currently on the marketplace is every time a piece of art is sold digitally, the original creator is paid a royalty back for that secondary sale, and they get a sale in perpetuity. And we've now managed to attach that technology to physical goods. So essentially we can pay royalties to a brand, to a creator on the secondary sales of their products. So every time a pair of trainers from Nike changes hands, for example, Nike can get rewarded back let's say 10% royalty on every single secondary sale for the life cycle of that product.
Excuse me, Daryl, can you hear me?
So where are we? So we've been building since January 21. We are trying to build one of the most advanced Ethereum.
Okay, Daryl, can you please turn on your mic again? Your screen is okay, but we couldn't hear you well. We were like, had some problems with the sound. Please, Renee, could you? Okay. Okay, Daryl, please.
There, could you hear me okay? Sorry, Rennie just called and said it's gone fuzzy.
Yes, yes, we had some problems with the sound.
Oh, okay. How far back?
Now it's great. Now it's
Okay.
great. Okay, please
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah, and it's okay to continue on the same slide?
Yeah, of course, please.
Yeah,
Thank
perfect.
you.
Okay, I will, no problem. Okay, so I will start here. So yes, we went live February 22, and so far I've developed collections with Wrangler Jeans, Leon Bridges, Chimodu, who's a very famous photographer, Marcus Stroman, who is a major league baseball player. Guido's a big name in traditional photography, but also in the NFT space, and Pixelmap, for example, who is the original picture-based project on Ethereum that dates back to 2016. And then we've also built out some of our own original collections. And we'll give you an example of these coming up. So phygital, again, a term that's really quite known, and really describes well what we're trying to do here. So it's a merge of the physical and digital. It was actually coined more than a decade ago by advertising executive Chris Whale to describe what he calls the immense possibilities for brands to engage consumers in both worlds. So I'm just going to read this out because it helps set the scene very well as to the customer flow when someone is using the Web3 service like a limited ink platform and our phone app, for example, that scans for authenticity and a more interactive brand and product experience. So you get a push notification through the limited ink app. Your favorite brand or designer is releasing a new limited edition hoodie collection. No need to worry about waiting in line, clicking furiously to catch the drop on a buggy website, or dealing with scalpers. You'll cryptographically provably own 2 items from this designer already, so your wallet is already whitelisted. You make your purchase and you instantly receive a digital twin NFT in your wallet as proof of ownership. Your public wallet is the new digital flex, and your entire online community sees your new purchase. Your physical hoodie arrives in the post. You take out the limited ink app, you scan the product, you verify its authenticity, and you watch exclusive content embedded in the chip, which is only available to you as the collector of that product. Wearing the hoodie around, the NFC chip triggers you further rewards and experiences. Your wallet is filled with goodies. You get a POAP here, a rebate there. You discover that the NFT comes with access to events thrown by your favorite designer. All of this built again into the phone app and the experience that you can just pick up and access straight away. Your ticket to their next art show arrives on the chip embedded in the hoodie. You earn a skin from attending the event and promptly use it to customize the digital version of your hoodie. So that's just to set the scene a bit, to give an example of what that customer flow could look like. And what you'll see here on the right-hand side is our app in action. So we built this works. We've used it with products that are out in the market already. And I'll just walk you through as it happens. So as you can see there, the apps asked the user to find the limited ink label on the product. So that can be on a piece of art, that could be on a pair of shoes, it could be on a hoodie. So there it is, located, sewn in. Under that label is one of our proprietary NFC chips. And the app is scanning it, and it's going to retrieve data from the blockchain. They're being told they have a verified genuine product. They've been told what edition number they have, if it's a 1 of 1, if it's 1 of 500. And what you just saw there was them clicking on the NFT. Now, that NFT can be a digital representation of the product, so literally a picture of the hoodie, or it could be something more exciting and creative, like a piece of art. And the idea here is that the art is what represents the ownership of the product in the digital wallet. And so that can be seen by millions. And so it's a really great chance and kind of opportunity for brands to put themselves directly into the wallet and digital communities of collectors, so that not just the collectors seeing it, but the whole community who follow collectors also, understand and see that this big collector has just purchased this cool piece of clothing or this cool piece of art. So you get instant kind of recognition there. And then within that, we also get access to product details, photos, actually getting product information about what you've just purchased. And the really cool part here that's coming up is the exclusive content. So while we can't change any of the content that's actually embedded and connected to the blockchain, we can drive new content through the chip. And we use that going through the exclusive content section. And so you can update your customer base with a new music video or a new product that's coming out and give them first access to all kinds of new content that they will get because they own one of your products. And so it really gives them a much more exclusive access to you and your brand. And just to say, the chips can't be duplicated and the information programmed onto them is immutable. So just like how the blockchain's data is immutable, so is the data that we bind to that chip when we mint that NFT. So physical and digital NFTs, we work in the spaces of art, toys, luxury, fashion, streetwear, collectibles, our own limited edition originals, and then we work with the native Web3 community to create collaborations with their art. And so where is the market going? So the world has finally woken up to the power of NFTs, blockchain technology, and it's driving all kinds of new opportunities for brands and artists and collectors. Consumers are looking for new ways to experience and own limited edition products that suit their lifestyle. And blockchain connected products are really driving kind of new experiences, and artists and brands are looking to push the boundaries to create and connect, to connect and reward loyal fans and customers. And so on the right-hand side is just a really handful of brands that are already using NFTs to sell physical products. And I'll give you a quick example here. So for us, the future is digital. Just recently, the 21st of July, Nike released a collection, NFC-infused hoodies with their Web3 partner Artifact. They sold 4,900 units in, I think it's actually more like 48 hours or so, for a price of about $560 each. And so what does that show us? There's a clear demand for the technology that Limited Ink has already built. And also the collectors are willing to pay a considerable premium for NFC-infused streetwear and physical goods that are connected to the blockchain, verifiably authentic and scarce, and by blue chip brands and artists. Sorry, I'm getting a... Ready?
Hey, it's happening again slightly.
What is going on? Okay, I hear that
I'm mute and unmute.
Yeah. How is that any better? Okay, good. I will continue. Sorry about this. Hope you're hearing it. So here we are, just a quick look at the market. We have a saying in the blockchain and crypto space, number only go up. Obviously it's a joke and a meme, but realistically, when you zoom out, this space is growing at quite a rate. And as all markets go through price exploration, we go through boom and bust cycles. And currently we've had a really big hype cycle through the NFT space, Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, everything was really hyperinflated. And of course, inevitably it crashed and we are back down again. But what happens now is the real builders come out, they start looking at the technology that actually exists underneath the NFT and start building and innovating in their own way. And so realistically, what we're seeing here is a huge upswing in this space and the market and the adoption that is occurring over sort of a year-to-year basis. Okay, so Limited Ink is already bridging Web3 with the physical world, and we're going to give you some examples here of how we're doing that. So here's a quick snapshot of the collections that we've got out. We'll start here with Wrangler and Leon Bridges. So I'll start with the objectives. To launch a thoughtful NFT collection consisting of something tangible that had an authentic feel in line with the brand's rich heritage. Wrangler wanted to step into the digital fashion and launch the world's first denim collection in the metaverse. And number 3, tap into new Web3 markets. So it is Wrangler's 75th anniversary this year, and so they really wanted to celebrate something that put together something that celebrated the 75 years of history, but also represented and celebrated 75 years ahead as well. And so we put together 2 tiers, all based around it's called the Mr. Wrangler collection, and all based around a rare denim jacket and jeans that was custom built for Leon Bridges. So we launched 75 digital-only NFTs, and those NFTs essentially, they did not necessarily come with a physical part connected by NFC technology, but what they did bring was an experience. So that's one of those 75s, for example, get you a ticket into a private VIP performance to watch Leon Bridges perform live in New York City. You get a Decentraland metaverse wearable, so virtual fashion. So you can now take the same outfit that's being built around this collection and actually wear it within the metaverse and kind of show off virtually. And then 75 signed denim jackets by Leon Bridges, which kind of, we call it like a bundle. They're kind of thrown in at the same time, just so they have more utility. So this is not just an experience at an event. It's not just a wearable, and it's not just a piece of fashion that comes with it. And all for the price of 0.3 Ethereum. And we still have some of the icon tiers available. So out of 75, I think we've sold about 30. And of course, if you want to check it out, go to Limited Inc. and take a look at the NFT that's there. So the best thing about this, that ticket gets you access to the live event in New York City, which is on the 14th of September, where essentially we'll be unveiling the next phase of the Wrangler drop. And that is the actual physical piece, which is kind of what Limited Inc. here is here to do. So we've infused NFC technology into the jacket, the jeans, and we've also built a real world physical suitcase, which we call a retro futuristic suitcase. And on the left hand side, you'll see is the actual suit. So bespoke, really beautiful, really playing on Wrangler's, craftsmanship over the years, having, been in the denim space for 75 years. So we then embedded the chip under the label on the jacket, the jeans. And what that happens is essentially the NFC is infused into the product, and it's now transformed that product or that artwork, whatever that may be, into a communication channel, allowing Wrangler to deliver new content and activate new experiences directly through the chip and the app. And secondary, it also acts as authenticity, provenance, and a robust anti-counterfeiting mechanism, which is all built in. And on the right-hand side, you'll see is the NFT that comes with it, which is the NFT, what we call the digital flex. And, that's basically where most of the flexing occurs these days, is through your wallet, through your social media. When you buy a new product, chances are you probably go to your Instagram and you share it to your network. And here's just a quick look at the retro futuristic suitcase that we put together. As you can see, it's got custom bespoke Wrangler comic book lining on the inside. Under our logo is one of our NFC chips. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the metaverse wearable that extends from it. So this is a one of one. There is the first tier, icon tier, is 75. The legendary tier is simply a one of one. So whoever ends up winning the auction for this piece, they get the physical piece shipped to them. When they scan it, they get that NFT that comes with it. And they also get this very cool, on the left-hand side, metaverse wearable with a glowing gold hat. It comes with a suitcase, cowboy boots, and that is a panther, which is the mascot of the city where Leon Bridges is from. And here's just a quick look at the actual drop in the press. So getting major headlines from Rolling Stone, WWD, Forbes, and the Economic Times. Okay, next is Guido. Guido is a really famous photographer. He's the highest transaction volume traded photographer on OpenSea, which is the #1 NFT trading marketplace in the world. He's been published in some of the major publications in the world, GQ, Highsnobiety, and Emily. He's gone on to be a huge blue chip name in the NFT space. And essentially, we're working with him to bring his biggest collection to life. It's called the Sicilian Kiss. And essentially, we've taken the NFT and we've created a physical counterpart of it. We've created a new NFT that comes with it. And we've embedded NFC technology into the print and embedded all kinds of cool content directly from Guido himself. So we interviewed him. We then chopped up that interview and put it onto the chip so that now when the collector gets that fine art print in the post and they get it home, they take it out, they can really spend time getting to know the creator and accessing content that otherwise isn't available to them. Here's a quick look at our project with PixelMap. So this PixelMap is one of the earliest projects on the Ethereum blockchain. It was launched before the ERC 721 token was even a standard. We're working with Ken Irwin, the founder, and essentially we're working with him and the community to bring their tiles to life. So PixelMap is a essentially platform that allows, oh, sorry, I'm being told to mute again. Unmute. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, got the thumbs up. Thank you, Rennie. Yes, so PixelMap is a blockchain project, and it allows people to change the image of a tile within a, let's say, digital world. And so you can change it with a logo, you can put an artwork up there. So it's really customizable. And so we're working with all those owners essentially to bring their tiles to life in the physical world. And so on the left-hand side, you'll see the physical print. And just to play here, this is actually Ken Irwin's himself. This is his tile that he owns. This is actually a number of tiles that he has put in together to make one piece. And as you can see there, beautiful fine art print. And under the limited ink label on the center there is the NFC chip. And on the right-hand side is the NFT that comes with it. So as you can see, it's a representation of the physical piece. It's branded with the PixelMap logo, so everybody knows it's official and part of that community. And within our website as well, we also, when we build a collection, we put in the creator. So there's, for example, the Wrangler logo under the Wrangler collection. There's the PixelMap logo and the PixelMap wallet under the PixelMap collection. And so everybody knows that they're dealing with the actual creator. So really helpful when trying to instill confidence in people to make those purchases from authentic brands. And this is a quick look at some of our own original lines. This could be, for example, we work to infuse NFC technology into merchandise, for example. And there's a good example here with the skateboard. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the actual skateboard. And under the limited ink label, again, is one of our chips. And on the right-hand side is the NFT that comes with it, which is, a bit more than a digital twin, because we like to, really make it a bit more exciting. It's a work of art. It comes with really cool artwork. And so that, again, lives in a digital wallet so that everybody who follows the person who owns this knows that this collector has this product from this brand. There's a quick look at the brand, the skateboard in real life. And then just to touch on the streetwear, also authentic, interactive, transparent, and verifiable, which is a really key component of what we're trying to do. Verifiable scarcity is going to become a really important thing over the next generation of consumers. So again, just a quick look at the NFT that comes with it. Now, this is more representational of the physical product. It's exactly the t-shirt. And as you can see here, front and back, the limited ink label has a NFC chip embedded underneath it. Our physical products are connected to the blockchain via that NFC chip, which provide instant authenticity, provenance, exclusive content, and allow brands, artists, creators to direct push notifications and content to their collectors. And then this is just to show you the physical piece that we had put together in the video. This is a very famous CryptoPunk. So that's the physical piece. And then again, under that chip is under that label is one of our chips. And on the right-hand side is just another example of what an NFT could look like. So Limited Ink is a platform that provides artists, brands, and creators with the ability to create dynamic and personalized experiences across both the physical and digital worlds, built directly into their products, allowing them to invest in culture. And that's us, Limited Ink, empowering creators, driving culture. And I'm Darryl Kelly, the CEO and founder, and I'd like to thank Rennie as well for helping me along the way here, who's also on the call, and Danesh is one of our lead advisors and investors. And thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. This was great. Please let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you, yes. Can you hear me?
So much. Yeah, we can hear you. I don't know why we had these problems with the sound, but it was great. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll stop sharing, I think, right? Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course. Darko has, of course, something more to say. So I will
Yes.
give the word back to you.
Thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you very much for this presentation. I'm really impressed
I
even
can't hear you,
more.
Darko.
You can't hear
Uh,
me?
What's going on?
Okay.
Actually, I
I
can.
think your audio is gone, or
Yeah, I
No.
can hear Darko.
Okay.
Can you please, guys, type it? I don't know why we have these problems. I'm a little bit nervous now.
Let me check. So everybody who can hear me? Yes.
In chat, they say that they can.
Almost
Yeah, they
Oklahoma,
can.
USA can hear me. Hey, Richard, nice to meet you. How are you? Very good to have you with us. Okay, so Daryl, I'm sorry, it's on your side probably.
Yeah.
Then I will continue because I have something to say. Yes, thank you very much, Daryl. I will write it. Thank you, Daryl.
It's great.
But I want to say something because I want to make it a little bit, how to say it, more visible what's going on just in the moment, because there is a big revolution going on. And for that, I will compare everything what Daryl just said with something that everybody knows exactly in the moment, with this. You know what is that? Tell me please in the chat. Do you know what is that? What? I'm sure you know that. I have millions of those guys in my pocket, and no, unfortunately, not credit cards. These are the customer cards. These are the customer cards which are giving some kind of points and some kind of loyalties and so on. But if you compare this kind of customer loyalty concept with the customer loyalty concept that you just saw in this presentation of Daryl, this is like, like, I don't know, like a moon and ground. So this is totally different. We are talking here about the customer experience, which is unbelievable. And you can create the concepts that are totally new and they are unbelievable. I don't have words to describe that. Just think further. But the base for that is actually just the intelligent identification of the product, which is immutable and which is called NFT. You have a piece of software, piece of code, which is stored somewhere on the blockchain that nobody can change. And in that piece of software is written how great things can happen with that item that you just saw. And that even in the digital and physical world. I'm really impressed. And this means actually the next step is not the isolated step in the evolution of the retail. It is something which can perfectly fit to all existing steps and even to the first one. Because imagine the situation that you are going on the green market, identifying yourself by some kind of NFT. This could be possible as well. But even more, I just want to add on this on top, because some of the POS software vendors already recognize that, and they are implementing already something which we are calling cross loyalty. This means that if you are, for example, owning one of those NFTs that we just saw in this great presentation, they're implementing the system that they can recognize them and react on them. So, for example, if you are having the Wrangler jacket, imagine that you are walking through the store and that the POS system identifies you, and maybe you are at Diesel at that moment, and you get some kind of discounts on the Diesel products. This is something what we call cross loyalty. This is now possible as well because the data are stored on the blockchain and they are transparent. So it's actually great for everyone. Unbelievable concepts can be created now. It's not just a new step which is coming in front of us, but it's something which is changing existing industry as well. I hope you enjoyed this presentation as I did. I'm totally impressed from this technology, and I'm sure that this will be at least partially the future of the retail. And I'm really happy to talk about all these kind of concepts and the possibilities. Thank you very much to everyone. If you have the questions, please just use now the chat or switch to the Discord. We can continue over there. So it's up to you to choose the way. Joel is asking, why using NFT technology if you can verify, sell it on the public blockchain? If you mean a technology which is related, which what we just presented, with Derek just presented, The point is the relationship between physical and digital item. One point is to sell the NFT on the traditional way. Let's say you can do that, and of course you can enjoy it. But how to connect the physical item with that digital part, digital NFT? This is the first and very not that easy issue. You can imagine if I'm, for example, creator and I paint the picture, I could create 20 NFTs and all representing the same picture. It's not really unique. So that's why you need a special technology which is enabling that. So great question. We plan on being, but of course there is a chance that we might not be. So we are working out. This is the answer. Or sorry, I'm reading the answer of Renee. Sorry for that. Yeah, this is maybe better. Milica, help me, please.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here.
Read some question because I'm confused.
Yeah, actually, we had some questions, but
and maybe we can switch to Daryl on as well, or Rennie.
Yeah, Daryl is the presenter. So Daryl, if you want to add something, because Rennie, your colleague, answered all those questions. But maybe if you want to add something, you can turn on your mic and camera, and of course answer. We have more people typing, so we will wait. Of course, you can join us on Discord, and if you have any other crypto questions, you can ask them there. I will put the link.
Hello, Alienware Labs. Nice to have you with us.
Find the link, please, in the chat. Joel asked which blockchain.
This was on the Ethereum presented. So the LTD.enc is working on the Ethereum. The solution is on the Ethereum. Maybe just, yes.
Samin said, love to be here. Great. We love
Good to have you with us. But you know what is the biggest impression for me, at least, and groundbreaking revolution is this one. So this is actually something which is so small if you compare it with this kind of loyalty concept that you can run, and then the sales concepts which are behind. It's unbelievable. So I'm really, this is the future, definitely the next stage. So
yes, we actually had some physical talk episodes where we were talking about the Web3, and we were actually talking about the selling NFTs on the POS terminals and so on. So you can go check our YouTube channel, Physical Solutions, and check out what we actually were talking about it. Okay, so you have questions and answers here in the chat box from Daryl and his colleague. Please ask if you have more questions.
Shamsuddin is writing, it's not only for the loyalty, it can be a new platform to connect paying system and loyalty. Absolutely. And this is the next big thing. And I think we have even somebody from as a payment specialist in the audience. I'm very happy for that. Nice greetings to Peyton. Yes, this is the next big issue, because if you can buy it, you have to pay it as well. And this is everything on the one platform at the end. So the concept which can be created with all pieces together is powerful. It's really powerful.
If you wanted to jump in, Daryl, please go on. You can, of course. Okay, we have Rennie is typing now. Okay. I will put the link of our YouTube channel in the chat box also.
What I know maybe, and this could be a good question to Daryl, because I'm not sure about the answer. I know that if we are talking about, let's say, old ways to put the labels on the products, like, for example, RFID and so on, they were quite expensive. So the way how they never got, let's say, that much usage because they were quite expensive. I'm not sure how expensive are the near field communication chips, but I suppose they are more easier to buy, let's say, and cheaper, but I'm not sure. But if we are talking about the customer loyalty concepts for the VIP customers, where we are not serving, I don't know, 1,000 customers or 1,000 items, then I think the costs are not that big point, at least not from the chip itself.
Yes, of course. Daryl will jump in. He wants to say something, just he has some problems because he can't hear us at the moment. So let's just wait a couple of moments. Okay, he's here. Okay, Daryl, please try it now.
Yes, very good.
Hello.
I can hear everything now, and yeah, I've no idea what's going on.
Great.
May I ask, maybe you wanted to say something and we interrupt you. Otherwise, I have 2 questions.
No, I think I got all of it out. I mean, let's yeah, any questions? Happy to help.
I have 1 question because I think this would be interesting for the retailers which we have in the audience. How complex is actually to develop this kind of project? If one retailer decides to go this direction, what do you think? How complex is that?
So it's actually relatively simple because we've spent the last 2 years building that technology, investing in it very heavily to make it very seamless to connect a physical product to the blockchain. So really, the complexities of it rely on what the product is and what the collection is. You know, if it's a hoodie collection, it's obviously very simple and easy. If a client already has the manufacturing capacity to do their own collections, then we simply can receive or send the chips over and they get installed on their end, or they can send us the garments over and then we install the chips on our end. If it's a lot more complex of a product or a creation, then of course, yes, it gets a bit more complicated. But we live in a seamless world now, and we can all build stuff together from across the world. So I think it's actually relatively easy, and we've done a lot of the heavy lifting to make it very easy.
And the second question which I have, and it's also somehow related to the project itself, the organization, and how to run it on most efficient way. Usually the retailers are afraid that this kind of the projects demands lots of people in the team, like people from marketing, people from design, people from these guys from IT and so on. And this is giving the complexity and, let's say, the difficulty to manage this. What do you think about that? Is your company actually the place where the guys should go, and everything else you can lead them, take them on the hand and move in the right direction? And what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So we're a full service platform. So you don't just have an NFT to create, put it on our site and hope it sells. We come with everything, for, like I said, conceptualization. We're making sure that the creation is actually attractive to the Web3 community. So we as a platform have a reputation and a kind of sales targets to meet ourselves. So and as a brand and company, we also support the whole process. So we have customer service. So once that product is now out in the public domain and there's customers using it, we have technical support. We do all the shipping and communication with the customers. There's actually really no extra effort really on the part of the brand or the creator once it's out in the market.
Yeah, this is great, because I'm sure that the companies which are not actually in the Web3 space yet, they're a little bit afraid about that, because it's, what is that? It's something new. So how to start actually? So that's why it's good to have you to take them on the hand and to lead them towards the right direction. Third question, sorry that I have it, but it's really interesting. I just saw that some of the retailers which are in the audience are food retailers. I know that they will have difficulties to imagine how they could use at least this kind of concepts in the food retailing. Maybe you have some ideas about that kind of retailing and how can we relate to that?
Yeah, so I mean, many examples of, let's say, food recalls, for example. When you're talking about food, you're talking less about luxury goods, for example, or something someone's going to wear and interact with, but more so from a health perspective, making sure the ingredients are what the brand are saying that they are. So it goes more into a supply chain traceability concept, where if you're trying to instill confidence into the consumer base, because you're trying to prove that you have an organic product, for example, which is a really great use case. What you can do is, what we can do is work with suppliers to actually stamp of approval to show that the ingredients that they're using have come from where they say they have. And so that when that consumer now gets that product, they take out, they scan, it could be a QR code on this kind of instance. Wouldn't necessarily have to be an NFC chip, but it could be an RFID chip that goes very well on packaging. And now the consumer can scan it in the store before they purchase it and actually confirm that that data has been sanctioned. And you might use a middle trusted organization to actually confirm that the brand has actually taken these steps to verify that they did use these ingredients or this supplier. And so it worked really well for building confidence in consumers. So that's a good way of using it.
Great. I see a big future in that area. And if we are talking about the future, this is the fourth question. Sorry, I told you I have just two, but now it seems that I have more. Sorry for that.
Keep coming.
What do you think about the future of this concept in general, about your company in the future, and about establishment of the idea and the model, let's say, in the world, let's say? Where are we going?
Yeah, so I think, when we started this, we had all the confidence in the world that this is where the market was going. And I think as we've continued to build, we've seen more and more steps by bigger brands coming into this space and showing us that they also believe this is the way. So the examples I showed you are projects that we've been working on with clients. But when you see someone like Nike launch a collection using NFC technology, it gives you a really big confidence boost, because you're like, okay, well, if Nike are seeing this as a way forward, then imagine, I always did think within 5 to 10 years, the chances of people buying products now that aren't in some way interactive or verifiable, I think every product, trainers, clothes will have some form of digital interaction, smart clothing, that kind of stuff. So it's inevitable that we only see the infusion of technology into our everyday products, but certainly I would say our clothing, whether that be for authenticity, whether that be for health reasons, to actually monitor body and this kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's a booming market and inevitable that the infusion continues to grow.
Can you unmute and mute again, or mute and unmute? Your micro is creating strange sounds in the moment again.
Like a robot, I don't know why it's happening. I must add that I see your colleague Rennie. He's fighting for his life in the chat box.
Yeah.
Very good.
But that is great, and I'm so happy that we have one private chat box. So thank you, guys.
Okay, so I have
please excuse me. I must add that I will put Daryl's and Darko's LinkedIn profiles here in the chat box. So please feel free to type there if you have any other questions.
So I don't have more questions, so I asked everything. Yeah, maybe if somebody from the audience wants to ask, now is the chance. Otherwise, contact us, relate to us, and no problem, connect, and we can discuss everything separately, either in Discord or wherever. It's up to you. From my side, thank you very much. Daryl, thank you very much for the great presentation. I'm sure we will get in touch again, and I'm sure the guys will ask for more. And this was like an appetite, they will just we created it now, and they will ask for more, I'm sure. So thank you very much again. Milica, thank you, and talk to you all.
Thank you again. I appreciate you allowing us to be here.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Cheers.
Okay. Thank you, guys, once again from my side too. Thanks to Daryl and thanks to Darko. Of course, thank you all for being here. Thank you for having this Wired chat box right here, and let us know if you love this topic. And of course, let us know if there is some interesting topic that you would like from us to cover. You have all the links here in the chat box, LinkedIn profiles, Discord channel, YouTube channel. Please go and check it out, because we are doing on this Web3 space a lot of things, and we are learning every day more and more. So we also want to provide that knowledge for you too. Thank you once again, and see you next time. Bye, guys. Waiting for you on the Discord.